welcome back. We're reading The Sealed Nectar. It's such a great book. We are in the section titled Open Preaching, page 201, and we're down at the bottom. Okay. Utbah then retired to his company to tell them of the prophet's attitude. When his companions saw him, they swore that he had returned to them with an expression unlike the one he had before meeting the prophet, peace be upon him. He immediately communicated to them the details of the talk he gave and the reply he received, and added, saying, I have never heard words similar to those he recited. They definitely relate neither to poetry nor to witchcraft, nor do they derive from soothsaying. Look at that. Poetry, witchcraft, soothsaying. O people of Quraysh, I request you to take note of my advice and grant the man full freedom to pursue his goals, in which case you could safely detach yourselves from him. I swear that his words bear a supreme message. Should the other Arabs rid you of him, they will then spare you the trouble. On the other hand, if he gains power over the Arabs, then you will enjoy his kinship and share him in his might. These words, of course, fell on deaf ears and did not appeal to the infidels, who mocked at Utbah and claimed that the Prophet, peace be upon him, had bewitched him. In another version of the same event, it is related that Utbah went on attentively listening to the Prophet, peace be upon him, until the latter began to recite Allah's words. But if they turned away, then say, O Muhammad, I have warned you of a sa'iqah, a destructive, awful torment, like the sa'iqah which overtook the people of Ad and Thamud, 41:13. Here, Utbah stood up, panicked and stunned, putting his hand on the Prophet's mouth, requesting him, I beg you in the name of Allah and the ties of kinship, to stop, lest the calamity should befall the people of Quraysh. He then hurriedly returned to his companions and informed them of what he had heard. Okay, the next section says, the heads of the Quraysh challenge the messenger and Abu Jahl passes judgment on him. Let's see what's going down. Still the Quraysh had hope. This was because the Prophet, peace be upon him, had not clearly rejected their offers in a way that would completely rule out an agreement. On the day they consulted, gathering behind the Kaaba after sunset, they sent a message to the Prophet, peace be upon him, inviting him to attend. When he came, they presented him with the same proposals that Utbah had previously. He made clear to them that none of these applied, that he was merely a messenger conveying the message of his Lord. If they accept it, then it will benefit them in this life and the hereafter. If they reject, then he will be patient until Allah judges between them and him. Interesting. So you notice he wasn't just like, hey, if you don't accept my faith, guess what? Spanish Inquisition. Ha! See what I did there? Then they asked him to produce a sign, asking his Lord to either move a mountain for them, level the city. What? Move a mountain. See, here's the thing. Okay, so the Quraysh have their religion. Okay? What if somebody asks the Quraysh, hey, tell all your gods, move this mountain, if they're real? Why didn't no one ever flip that back on them? They're like, Muhammad, you got this new faith. We literally want you to move a mountain, right? They're like, what? Okay, have your God do it then. Level the city. See, level the city, you're going to kill so many people and destroy the infrastructure of your town. Make the dawn appear. Control the freaking season. These requests are absurd. Or bring to life some of the dead. Bruh, if somebody brought back a zombie, I'd just be like, "Duh, duh, duh." Like, kill the zombie. Don't talk about the Jesus story. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, like, if somebody had the power to bring someone back from the dead, like, if I saw it, first thing I'm going to think, you gave them a drinking potion to make them pass out unconscious. Then you brought them back. Second, if it's not that, and they brought somebody back, I'd be like, you're a demon, I'll kill you and the zombie. I guess that's just because in 2020 we see all these zombie movies. But man, that freaked me out. He responded in a way similar to before. Then they told him to ask his lord to send an angel to them, attesting to what he says. Bro, they're just asking for these absurd things. Bringing gardens, treasures, and castles of gold and silver. If a castle of gold would be very bright. The sun's gonna hit it, you're gonna blind yourself. It's too shiny. Same with silver. I'd feel like I was if I was in a silver castle, I'd feel like I was in like a slaughterhouse, because there's a lot of metal in a slaughterhouse. It's easy to spray, right? I'd be like, I'm in hell. He answered again in the same manner. Then they asked him to bring a punishment, that he have a piece of the sky fall down upon them. He replied, that is up to Allah. As he wills, he does. So they criticized him sharply and threatened him, and he went away grieving and upset. After he went away, Abu Jahl, the arch enemy of Islam, addressed them. O people of Quraysh, it seems that Muhammad is determined to go on finding fault with our religion and degrading our forefathers, discrediting our way of life, and abusing our gods. I bear witness to our God that to rid you of him, once and for all, I will carry a heavy rock and drop it on Muhammad's head while he is in prostration. He's repeating this. He said that before. I am not afraid of whatever his tribe, Banu Abd Manaf, might do. The terrible, unfortunate audience approved his plan and encouraged him to translate it into action. In the morning of the following day, Abu Jahl lay waiting for the arrival of Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, to offer prayer. The people of Quraysh were in their assembly rooms waiting for the news. When the Prophet, peace be upon him, prostrated, Abu Jahl proceeded carrying a big rock to fulfill his wicked intention. No sooner had he approached the Prophet, peace be upon him, than he turned back pale-faced, shuddering, with his hands strained while the rock dropped. The people, watching, hurried forward, asking him what was wrong. He replied, when I approached, a male camel, unusual in figure, with filfur canines, intercepted and almost devoured me. I didn't know camels could bite. Ibn Ishaq reported that the Prophet, peace be upon him, in the context of his comment, the ancient said, it was Jibril. I think that symbol means may Allah be pleased with him. If Abu Jahl had approached closer, he would have killed him. Oh, so the Jibril came down and was like, no. Okay, so when it says it was Jibril, he transfigured himself into the camel, or he sent the camel, or he was by the camel, or he inspired the camel. Either way, they're related somehow to protecting Muhammad. Wow. Okay, look, the next section says, the Quraysh attempt to negotiate. Although the Quraysh tried to challenge the Prophet, peace be upon him, and Abu Jahl tried to kill him, they had hoped to come to some terms with the Prophet, peace be with him, since they were not completely convinced that he was false. Rather, they felt about the message as Allah said. They are in grave doubt concerning it. They saw the Prophet, peace be with him, was firm in the matter of his religion, and they wanted to meet him somewhere in the middle of the road. I wonder why in the middle of the road. They were willing to give up some of their faith, requesting him to give up some of his. They thought that through this method they would be able to arrive at the truth, if what he called them to was indeed true. Ibn Ishaq reported that some people were mocking Allah's Messenger, peace be with him, while he was in circumambulation around the Kaaba. Man, people just... It's hard to connect when people are just like... I couldn't imagine you're trying to get in the zone, the spiritual zone, doing your thing, and then you just have these cackling hens just who won't shut up. They included Al-Aswad bin Al-Muttalib bin Asad bin Abdul Uzza, Al-Walid bin Al-Mughra, Umayyah bin Khalaf, and Al-As bin Wal Ashmi, and these were the elders of their people. Ah, the elders, okay. The elders, okay, of their... They said, O Muhammad, come and let us worship what you worship, and you worship what we worship. Oh, no, you can't do that. No, that's not a good idea. I know Muhammad won't do it, but that's a bizarre thing for them to say. Well, they're polytheists, right? So they worship everything. I wouldn't agree to that. If someone's like, okay, I'll worship what you worship. No, I'd be like, I can read what your faith is about, but I'm not gonna worship. You know what I mean? We can be partners with you in this matter. Ah, look. So when the Quran says, do not assign partners with me, it's like talking about this stuff. If the one you worship is better than what we worship, then we will get some kind of benefit. Whereas if what we worship is better than the one you worship, then you will get some kind of benefit. I don't think that's the way it works. I used to think that's the way it worked, but I don't think that's the way it works. So Allah revealed, say, O you disbelievers, I will not worship what you worship, to the end of Surah Al-Kafirun. Abid bin Humayd and others reported that Ibn Abbas said that the Quraysh said, if you submit to our gods, then we will worship your God. That's not how it works. So Allah revealed, say, O you disbelievers, to the end of Surah 109. At-Tabari and the others reported that Ibn Abbas said that the Quraysh said, worship our gods for 1 year, and we will worship your God for 1 year. So Allah revealed, say it is other than Allah that you order me to worship, O you fools? Is it other than Allah that you order me to worship, O you fools? Worship my God for a year. I'm like, that's not how it works. Even if you were a polytheist in this time, I don't think your polytheistic gods would allow you to worship a different god. Even in the Greek mythology, certain gods would get jealous of each other, right? I don't think that they would like that. So that, even for a polytheist, that's kind of weird. But maybe for Hindus, you can worship Krishna, you can worship Vishnu, you can worship Ganesh, right? They don't get insulted or jealous. But I don't think, if you have a monotheistic god, you can't do it because that wouldn't make sense. If you worship one god, and then you go down and try to worship minor deities, that wouldn't make sense because it would be illogical. If you believe in a faith that says it's one god, for you then to go down and worship a bunch of different gods, it wouldn't make sense. And it just wouldn't work. Theologically, logically, if you're really dedicated to your religion, you wouldn't say that. So the Quraysh, not only are they bizarre, but that's a weird way of thinking. I know pagans did that, and Catholicism did some of that too, blending to have more people so they could get more tithings into the church so they could build more cathedrals and stuff and fund their wars. But still, I don't think that's the way it works. Interesting. So now we learned about what it really means for the partners.